There are things that you can do to help you save money and reach your financial goals sooner. Today, I'm sharing 5 choices that you can make today to help you move towards a frugal lifestyle and meet those financial goals that you are aiming towards. If you're new to the channel, welcome. I'm Lena. I make money at home videos to help you reach your financial goals sooner and see a brighter future for yourself and the ones that you care about. If you are not already subscribed, please hit that subscribe button and don't forget to turn on all those notifications. And coming in at number 5 is cook at home. This is dual purpose. You can both save money on your grocery and food bill, but also in the long term on your health expenses. The majority of the food that we eat out or at a restaurant or at fast food is not as nutritious as the food that we make at home. So any meal that we can make at home is a benefit to our wallet and our health. It's expensive to be sick, especially if you're going to the doctor all the time, or you need extra supplements, or different diet things, or you have restrictions. I kind of know a little bit about this since I have celiac disease and I take some supplements, and our diet is definitely catered towards my eating needs. We are kind of forced to eat at home because of my extreme gluten allergy. That's basically what celiac disease is. But it does save us a lot of money on eating out costs, and there's basically nowhere I can eat out. I think there's like 1 or 2 places right now, and I can get one thing at each restaurant. But it's so expensive to eat out, and if that's the plan, that really starts to add up. So don't get discouraged if eating out is your main meal plan. Anything you can do, or one meal that you can make at home, or maybe this week you could add one more meal that you're going to make at home. I wanted to show you this snack that I just came up with in the afternoons. I love to have a little snack, and this way I'm getting in some protein and some carbs and a little bit of sugar and some fats in this snack. So I am making this chocolate pancake. I used to make chickpea brownies when I wasn't eating as many eggs because my nursing baby seemed to be reacting to them. So I was eating brownies, but now I'm not eating brownies anymore and I can eat eggs. So now I'm making these chocolate pancakes for my afternoon snack, which is definitely something to look forward to, and a little bit of sweet when you add that maple syrup on top. So I'm just mixing in a bowl the 1 egg, the little bit of cocoa powder. We kind of ran out of flax meal, but I would put some flax in there. A little bit of almond flour. I can only have a little bit of almond flour because I don't do super great with that. And then some salt, and then I'm just frying it up with some avocado oil. It actually turns out pretty much like a pancake, I would say, even though it's basically just an egg with chocolate. And then I top it off with some clarified butter because, you know, of course I can't have dairy either, and some maple syrup that, of course, we bought from Costco because that's the best deal for real maple syrup. And coming in at number 4 is eat all your leftovers. This is a conscious, frugal choice that you can make each day by evaluating what kind of food is left in your fridge. Now, we are nowhere near perfect at this. We just threw out things last night and some cooked chickpeas. But a bag of chickpeas that I soaked and cooked myself, it's only $1.80, so I'm like, okay, it's okay that we threw those out and didn't eat them, but that's not my favorite. So you're looking in your fridge, you're seeing what things can I eat tonight, and making sure you're not buying too many things when you're at the store. Sometimes you have your perfect meal plan. My husband has been rocking at our meal planning, and then you look in the fridge one night and you're like, wait a minute, there's enough food for dinner and lunches tomorrow without cooking anything new. Or there's enough vegetables for us to not cook a new vegetable tonight. So then we change the plan, which is hard. I hate it when plans change, but we're adjusting and we're turning it into a leftover night. If you say, oh, we'll do a leftover night in 2 nights, those food items in your fridge might not be looking so great anymore. So do a leftover night now before those things go bad so that you can eat them while they still taste good and before they're at the it's not quite bad, but I don't really want to eat it because it's been in there for a while and it doesn't smell horrid, but maybe I'll just leave it in there for a few more days until it's actually growing mold and then I'll throw it out. Avoid that trap and have your leftover night whenever you see excess food in your fridge. Frugal choice number 3 is plan ahead for trips. I know some of us love to plan like me and some of us love to not plan, but planning can save you so much money, especially when you have a trip coming up. Because if you are flying somewhere, perhaps you're going to Disneyland, and you need a lot of very specific things to make it a fun, enjoyable trip. If you plan ahead and you can search for the best deals, you can look on Amazon or find something on Facebook Marketplace used that you're going to need and buy that in advance. That's going to save you so much money. If you are buying something at the destination, it's pretty much guaranteed to be more expensive. So for instance, your child may need a hat on your vacation. If you can plan ahead, look and see what your older child had to see if there's any hand-me-downs, or if your friend has one that they are looking to get rid of, or if you can buy one inexpensively. You know, this hat could be free to maybe $5 worth of hat. Awesome. But if you buy a hat at Disneyland that you need just to keep the sun out of your kid's face, not because you just love the hat and that's a souvenir, that's a whole other thing. But if you buy it at Disneyland, it's probably going to be at least 30 or 40 bucks at Disneyland, and that is a high price to pay for that item. And if you start multiplying that by other items that you need, before you know it, things have gotten quite expensive. So whatever you can do to pack ahead, plan ahead, have your lists ahead, think through the scenarios that you're going to be in, think through the items that you may want while you're on your trip, and source them ahead of time. You can save so much money that way. And this will enable you to go on more trips less expensively, which is my goal. And number 2 is switch to LED lights. My husband made me put this one in here because he is all about lights. Lights are his favorite thing. He could get a flashlight for his birthday every single year and be the happiest camper in the world. Every time we move to a new house, check out my life update video to learn more about what's happening on that front. But every time we move to a new house, he is looking around and seeing what kind of lights there are, if we can swap out the bulbs or we need to change the fixture so that we can have LED light bulbs instead. This makes it so much less expensive to have your lighting on in your house, and it's nice when things are nice and illuminated and bright in your house. So if you have those LED light bulbs in there, that can save you money and also enable you to have a high light in your house, I guess. One thing we are kind of running into is that it's not quite as good if the light fixture itself is LED, because if it dies or it burns out, you have to replace the whole fixture. But if you have a fixture that you can put light bulbs in and you can put LED light bulbs in, whatever burns out, you can just replace it. But we just had an LED light bulb in our kitchen and it was a whole fixture, so you couldn't just change the bulbs. So it burned out and then we had to replace the whole thing. And replacing a whole light fixture is definitely more complicated than just replacing a light bulb. So be thinking about that as you're turning your house more energy efficient. How hard is it going to be to replace if this burns out? Because eventually things do burn out. LEDs are supposed to last a lot longer, but they definitely still die. And my number 1 tip for making frugal choices is to believe that it's possible. Look for those frugal choices that you could make and be creative as you look for ways to save money or make more money. I don't know who says that quote about be part of the solution, not part of the problem. So if you're looking at your budget and you're like, well, forget it. There's nothing we can cut. There's nothing we can fix. we cannot reduce any of our expenses in any area, you're being part of the problem. But switch your brain into how can I mode. Where in the budget could I change things? What about that phone plan? What about that car insurance policy? What about the food budget? What about our gas budget? What if we switched this for that? Could we save some money there? Get creative and don't limit yourself with how you're thinking about this. Because if you just keep telling yourself that it's impossible, then it is. Start believing that you can make progress towards your financial goals, you can save money, you can get creative, and then your brain will start working overtime to make it happen. So keep your brain fully employed and don't give it an excuse to just quit and give up. Be like, brain, you gotta figure this out. How are we gonna get closer to where we want to be? Figure it out. And then your brain will be like, okay, fine, I'll start working on this problem. Don't give it an excuse to just give up. Anyway, I hope those 5 frugal choices will help you. If you have other frugal choices that you make that help you, be sure to share those in the comments so that we can help each other out. Don't forget to help this video out by doing the YouTube trifecta, by liking, sharing, and subscribing. Hope to see you in the next one. Bye for now.